Go Ford for your next truck or SUV and find an easier way to buy with Woodhouse Ford today and experience the convenience of buying with Woodhouse Ford. Lease a 2023 Ford Escape Active for $397 per month for 48 months and 7,500 miles per year. First payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Tax title license extra with approved credit. Expires 12/04/2023.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
What else? Portuguese petition launched to opt out of WHO's polemic Pandemic Preparedness Treaty. Ooh, I like the sound of this. This has got Natasha Don written all over it, hasn't it? Let's see what's going on here. As the World Health Organization, I'm sure, meaning the best, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, of course. Pushback here against the WHO and perhaps an attempt and a wish for countries to have their own sovereign responsibility for their citizens rather than an unelected and some might say out of control body. Portuguese petition launched then to opt out of WHO's polemic Pandemic Preparedness Treaty. That trips off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? Is it Natasha who's writing this? Let me just say, yes, yesterday. This petition aims to reach 60,000 signatures then. Have you heard about this, what the WHO want to do in your life? A little publicized petition has been launched in Portugal to try and draw people's attention to the World Health Organization's treaty on pandemic preparedness and prevention before countries sign up to it. The text explains that critics of this new treaty point out that if approved, it would grant unlimited powers to the WHO, not that one, which is not a body with democratically elected officials and which, in the event of a new pandemic, could override government directives and even countries' constitutions. Well, what could possibly go wrong? Because I'm sure they've got our best interests at heart. So let's not worry about it too much, shall we? Let's not worry our pretty little heads about this. In addition, around 300 amendments to the international health regulations are planned, including the suspension of human rights in situations of a public health crisis. Yeah, what do you want human rights for in a public health crisis? Just make everyone do exactly what you want them to do and shut up. In short, with these global regulations, the ability of countries to make autonomous decisions in a future public health emergency sounds like they're planning one. Will be even more limited, as will the ability of citizens to defend themselves against discretionary measures that affect human rights. I mean, it's not as if you're being made to do things like wear masks or have a passport to go into a dentist, Marta Gameiro, believes the issue is much too serious to be screened from public debate, but screened it appears to be. Very few media resources or sources refer to this treaty, to the discussions ongoing about it, and almost no outlet gives news of efforts being made behind the scenes to alert populations to the possible implications. So well done, Natasha, for doing your bit to bring it to people's attention. Ms. Gameiro's petition begins with 3 questions, including the wider, should Portugal remain a member of the World Health Organization, while this agency, subordinate to the United Nations, gets most of its funding from foundations and private entities? At which point, I think I need a jingle, don't I? Oh, yes. She tells Pagina online that questioning Portugal's permanence in the World Health Organization, what has the World Health Organization ever done for us, was perhaps a big risk. But in the wake of COVID-19, it is important for people to be aware of how connected governments, the WHO, not that one, and other organizations, if only that one, right? And other organizations can be to the lucrative pharmaceutical sector. I say again. Or should that be? According to Portuguese law, a referendum by popular initiative needs to gather 60,000 signatures in a maximum of 6 months. I suspect the WHO are quaking in their boots. What's this? Memo on my desk. It says, what's his? I can't remember his name now. I see his face in my mind because I saw it so many times during the pandemic. But head of the WHO gets a memo. The people in Portugal are kicking off. Apparently, they're going to have 60,000 people over 6 months signing a petition. to go against what we're trying to do. Don't feel terribly petrified or scared about that. Anyway, so far the petition has mustered only... I feel even less scared now. So far the petition has mustered only 1,258 signatures. No. And the last word falls to members of parliament whose interest up till now has been practically non-existent. Okay, so let me get this right. You need another 58,800 signatures to bring this before members of parliament whose interest up till now is practically non-existent. The main objective of the petition, referendum for self-determination in health, Portugal and the WHO, is the promotion of a debate, Gameiro explains. And I don't mean to pee on your chips, Ms. Gameiro. I applaud what you're doing. What is at stake, what I'm getting at, is the apathy of the general public in their knowledge and concern about this matter. The main objective of the petition, referendum for self-determination in health, Portugal and the WHO, is the promotion of a debate. Gameiro explains what is at stake is the possibility of an elite taking over an organisation that is supposed to be independent. That could never happen, could it? She tells Página 1, alluding, says the online, to the WHO's links to the pharmaceutical sector and private foundations with commercial interests. Just looking out my window to think who that might be. It has to be stressed that the WHO's Director General, that's the guy, Tedros assured a press conference in March that the proposals under consideration will never eliminate the sovereignty of countries in the event of a new pandemic. So why do we need them at all then, Tedros? It is essential to emphasize that this agreement is being negotiated by countries for countries and will be adopted and implemented by countries in accordance with their own national laws. Again, why would we need that? Said the former Ethiopian Minister of Health and Foreign Affairs, adding that the assertion by some that this agreement is a violation of national sovereignty is manifestly wrong. Countries and only countries will decide what is in the agreement, not WHO staff. Then why the conversation? Why the attempt here? But fears of loss of sovereignty and suspension of human rights in case of new pandemics remain, not least because of measures put in place during the COVID-19 pandemic, many of which have since proved to have had no scientific basis whatsoever. What? And the fact that Portugal itself is considering changes to its constitution in terms of public health, which could, media sources have said, see people forcibly detained if deemed a health risk, whether or not they actually are a health risk. I do not like the way this is going. As Marta Gameiro warns, some of the proposals in the treaty widen the scope of emergencies to include potential harm instead of actual harm. There's a trend for this, isn't there? This is like that film Minority Report, is it not? Others relate to a definition of one health. Yikes. One world, one government, one army, one health. Yay! That encompasses any occurrence in the biosphere that may have an impact on human well-being, she says. I need to cough. Honestly, I was coughing, not spitting and cursing. The petition text also addresses... I need water now. I've got too animated reading this. The petition text... I need to calm my vocal cords down. The petition text... Hold on, I need to cough again. That got your attention, didn't it? The petition text also addresses the potentially excessive decision-making power that will be placed in the hands of a single person, the Director General of the WHO. I mean, haven't we had enough of that? Suggesting the intention could be to suppress and censor voices of those who question the dictates of the Dictator General. Marta Gameiro is also the promoter of another similar petition, but which did not question Portuguese membership of the WHO and gathered 7,317 signatures. The petition has already been dealt with in a first phase in a hearing of the Health Commission of the Assembly of the Republic on February the 16th, says Página The online adds that the Parliamentary Commission responsible for the appreciation... we're going into this verbiage now again, aren't we? So, okay, the Parliamentary Commission responsible for the appreciation of the first petition has not yet concluded the process, while the subject itself has been treated with little relevance by members of the various parties. The petition, for example, has not even been scheduled for discussion in the House. It's a sad prognosis, isn't it, for this new petition that is looking at what amount of power the WHO might want to have over all of us. Elsewhere, a number of voices have spoken out against the WHO's focus on this treaty, but in the hurly-burly of current events, Very little has bobbed to the surface in the mainstream. Now, that is probably the most telling sentence in the whole piece there. We're overwhelmed, aren't we? So, I mean, people are just going about their daily lives, the hurly-burly of current events, and not really wanting to think too much, perhaps, about the extent to which the World Health Organization can interfere in your daily life as you go about it. Thank you, Natasha Don, for bringing that to our attention. We might go to some more of the headlines. We're coming up to 10:29 though. And a nice, say nice, a comment in from Sci-Fi. Don't fall for the sociopathic corporate agenda of some of the world's elites being propagated by the said organizations. It's not for the people's convenience. I would agree with you there, Sci-Fi, on that. And I would be happy to sign a petition, says Michelle. It may not have an effect on the WHO, but if we share the petition, it could raise awareness of issues amongst the public. Is there a link to the new petition? Now, I'm not sure if there is or not there. Let me go back to it and see if I can find that for you. Good morning to you, Michelle Stevenson. How are you this morning? And they're all. Let me put the link to the whole article, and then you can see for yourself as you click through whether there is a link to the petition as well. So there you go. That's in the chat now. Let's what on the closing minutes then of the Iberian FM phone in this morning. There is still time to call in if you want to, and I hope you haven't tried to call in and that I've missed your call. No, we're okay. Good. Let's see what else the Portugal resident are talking about today. Nuclear medicine unit, what could possibly go wrong? Hopefully Homer Simpson doesn't work there. A tender launched for the Algarve Oncology Centre. That lady looks happy about that. The Madeleine McCann search continuing at the Arad Dam in Silvish. There, Portugal resident covering that. Portugal has a new vaccine against all types of dengue. There you go. Pressure mounts for inquiry, sadly, into British baby's death in the Portimao Hospital as well there. Zoomarine unveils new fast-paced water slide. Walk for the heart in Portimao. Okay, Algarve citrus producers foresee drop in production due to the drought. We have been eating. We bought a bag of oranges, great big, lovely, juicy, fat oranges, €15, and we've been drinking orange juice every day ever since. Delightful. And so hopefully the Algarve citrus production isn't hit too heavily with the drought conditions that seem to be occurring. Although a good downpour may be coming our way, as I suggested and started out with on this edition of the Iberian FM phone-in. Algarve nominated for 44 European Tourism Oscars. Well done, the Algarve. Long may your popularity around the world continue. Portugal to train Ukrainian pilots in F-16s. They'll be flying over my house soon, I suspect, then, as they sometimes do, up and down the coast here. And Portuguese children increasingly medicated for hyperactivity. There, I think, is another global trend right there in front of your very eyes. Okay, I think enough of that for the time being. And we'll be here again tomorrow, of course. Well said, says Michelle Stevenson. I still have 2 limbs, 5 digits, and 1 head. Oh, I see. Very well. You're doing well with that, with all of that. Very good. Well done with your 2 limbs. Shouldn't you? Okay. Are you 2 down currently? There, 5 digits and 1. You sound a few digits short there, Michelle. Since we last spoke, perhaps, or is there something I'm not aware of there? Still construction noise outside. When it's finished, then I will phone in. Promises the Lord Gilchrist, and respect to Portugal as well for not sending any F-16s to that proxy human abattoir. Peace is what the world needs, not one crisis after another. Well said, sir. Absolutely. And good excuse to put some music on. Sorry if I've utterly depressed you with that this morning. It's a fine balance, isn't it, with keeping people updated and not having them depressed. Oh, at the end of each end of the torso. Oh, well done. Good stuff. What the world needs. Yes, let's turn our attention then to spreading the love, sharing the love. Now we've had a look at the perimeter and seeing what's going on out there. What the world needs is rain and more trees and the sharing of the love. So do please tell somebody, as by way of an antidote, if nothing else, this morning after that outburst from me about the WHO, reach out, send a message to somebody, tell them you love them, tell them something they did you love, and let's keep sharing that love as Benjamin Stubbs urged us to do yesterday. Great to hear from you, Michelle, and you, Sci-Fi, and Lord Gilchrist. Thank you for being here for the Iberian FM phone-in. Join us tomorrow. Bobby O'Reilly and the Doc will be on the Good Morning Porch.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
O'Reilly. It's Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Get up to a $25 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries. Our professional parts people will test your old battery for free and recommend the right battery for your vehicle. For power, performance, and reliability, choose Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.